starving them, locking them up. DCFS received reports from babysitters. DCFS received over 11 reports that were so-called unfounded. The kids would relate to the social worker that they are being starved, they are being locked in a room, they are being beaten, they are being told what to do, what to say to police officers, or else they're going to get punished and hurt. So the kids would all, they were afraid to speak up because all the reports that was reported to social workers were unfounded. So they would leave the kids at home, at their foster mom's home. When I was listening to the police officer talk to the children, um, one of the child is a cute little girl. She said, I'm afraid to speak. I'm afraid to say with the truth because I'm gonna get punished. And the police officer said, well, you're safe here right now. She said, well, you're gonna leave me. So when you leave, then it's not safe anymore. It's really, really it made me really angry watching the video because the kids were really abused. And the foster mother would show the refrigerator to the social workers, and it's full of food, and the social workers say, well, they have food, so they're not being starved to death, whatever. But that's not how you conduct an investigation. You don't just conduct an investigation saying, oh yeah, the refrigerator has food, so the kids are not being starved to death. It doesn't make sense. I've heard other reports in New Jersey where the foster parents are sex offenders. So you take a child from a mother with allegations of drug use, right? Or allegation of abandonment or allegation of neglect and all that. Allegations, not even proven facts, not even proven to be true. Put the children in a sex offender home? That doesn't make any damn sense at all. Another report I heard about where the foster parents, mother, whatever, and her boyfriend were sex trafficking two young ladies who are foster kids. So, with all that being said, it's really unfortunate that we go through this. Where we and other people are exposing CPS and exposing the truth about CPS, and it still goes on where these kids are still being molested, they're being abused, they're being neglected, but yet you take them from the home. And what gets me is that they always say the child is mentally unstable or mentally disturbed, but they blame the mother for that. The children were not mentally unstable or or out of control when they were at the mother's home, but all of a sudden they are. And they keep drugging kids, give them medication and all kinds of crap. For what? For money. And here's Nicole. She said, mine pulled my kindergarten out of kindergarten and literally abusing her. Yeah, they're literally abusing the kids, abusing each and every one of them. Allegations, when I anybody can make allegations, right? Anyone can make allegations. Anyone can call the Department of Child Services and say, my next door neighbor is yelling and I believe there's domestic violence going on. The police goes, social worker goes, and they steal the children from the parents because of that neighbor who alleged there is domestic violence. How stupid are you as a freaking entity of a stupid department to just take the allegations and run with it? All because of what? For the sake of money. Follow the money. It leads you to the Department of Child Services. I saw another video on YouTube that makes the social workers look like angels. I wanted to like literally vomit. I literally wanted to vomit. Like I started getting stomach pain from watching it. They're making them look like angels. Oh, they're the saviors. No, they're not. No, they're not. They are manipulative. They are pathological liars. They are the scum of the earth. They are evil. There's nothing they do that's right or for the best interest of the children. There's more kids abused in foster homes than they are abused at home. And what I see every day, as I work with Mr. Davis, for Mr. Davis, I speak to so many parents, just allegations from a neighbor, from an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend. Allegations. Why? Because those people hate them because they moved on. So what they do, they hurt them the best way they can by using reports against them that will hurt their children, because hurting their children is hurting the parent. That's all it is. So I speak about this a lot. And I tell couples this as I speak with them over the phone. Don't call the police because your wife took the remote. Don't call the police because you and your wife are arguing over bills and you wanted a peacemaker. Peacemaker? The officer is going to be there as a peacemaker because you're fighting over bills? Well, guess what? That officer is going to report domestic violence. And that officer is going to call the Department of Child Services over what? A dispute over who should pay the bill this month? Or I want to watch my football game, so don't take the remote from me, and I'm going to call the police and say that you hit me so you can punish this person, your partner. There's a lot of things that take place. Sometimes it's in your control. And I spoke to a couple yesterday that actually told me this. Her husband wanted to watch the football game. She didn't want him to watch the game. So she took the remote from him. So he called the police and said she attacked me over a remote control. The police arrived. They have two kids. They were not at home, the kids. They were at the grandmother's house. But the police noticed toys and asked if they have, children. And the parents said, yes, we have 3 kids, but they're at the grandmother's house, etc., etc. So what does the police do? Notify the Department of Child Services. And in the report, domestic violence. The parents were never, in trouble with the law. They don't know what CPS is. They've never really researched, or because why would they? You can't it's kind of like really weird if somebody researched DCFS and they're not dealing with DCFS. Then they go and the DCFS social worker calls the parents. Then they go to the house. Then they talk to the kids and they see the kids. They check the refrigerator. They do that stupid shit that they do. And then they say, oh, everything looks okay here, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so. And then a day later, they come back and they remove the children. So there's a lot that happens, and people don't understand that everything that you do involving the police, it will result in removal of your children. But of course, other parents think, hey, I am a good parent, you know, I've never been in trouble with the law, so they're not going to take my kids. Yeah, they will. So get over this hype that you're a good parent. CPS doesn't care if you're mother of the year or father of the year. Like I mentioned in my show a couple of times, that DCFS loves abusers. They do. They actually put children with the abuser. Because when you deal with a narcissistic system, right, they favor other narcissists, other sociopath. Because the system is so broken and so corrupt that they hire corrupt people to do the job. A criminal that's about to rob a bank is not going to hire a good person to rob the bank, or an honest person. They're going to get corrupt people around them to help them do the job. Exactly the same way that with the Department of Child Services. They're not going to hire good people, honest people, because honesty is not going to make them money. It's the lies that makes them money. The removal of kids is what funds them. There is a case that I was speaking to the mother about her previous case with the Department of Child Services, and I had the opportunity to speak to her 23-year-old now daughter, and her 23-year-old daughter told me, and she was in tears, and everything, it brings back pain talking about it, but her mother wanted her to share the story with me, and it took her 2 months to agree to it. So finally, a couple of days ago, her mother called me and she said, my daughter is ready to speak with you, and please talk to her. When I spoke to her, she was in tears immediately. She was abused in foster home. She was molested. She made several reports to her social worker, and her social worker told her to suck it up. There's no other homes that she can take her to. The child, while she was a young lady, she had bruises. She had burns on her arms. And the foster mother told the social worker that she did that to herself. So what did they do? Medicated her, diagnosed her, when in fact there was nothing wrong with her other than she was being abused. But who did they believe? The foster mother. And I hate calling them foster mother, because they will never replace their biological mother, the kid's biological mother. No one can ever replace their mother. So I would like to call them maybe foster piece of shit, because that's what they are. Like when I was watching this video earlier of the child talking to the police officer in Maricopa County, that child called the foster piece of shit mom. And it broke my heart. The system forces the children to call them mom. Well, they already have a mom. And they're distant from their mom. Not because they want to. It's because they were forced to. Another lady I was speaking with, she became homeless just recently. And her sister in Iowa told her, hey, go to the shelter. They will help you find housing. So, of course, she went to the shelter with her kids. She has 4 kids to help her find housing. The first thing, the first day she was there, they got all her information, etc., etc., and they called the Department of Child Services. They made her believe they're going to help her. She wasn't helped. She wasn't helped at all. So instead, she went for help and they removed her children. Not because she's on drugs, not because, you know, she's neglecting the children, not because she's not feeding the kids, not because of any of that. She became homeless because she lost her job. She's the only person that's supporting her children. The father passed away 3 years ago, and she is being super mom. However, she went for help. That doesn't make her an unfit mother. While all these judges with money sitting on a on a chair wearing black robe, and social workers who drive their vehicle, go home after work, drink their Chardonnay or whatever the hell they do, are comfortable. They don't know how it is to struggle because they make money. They're comfortable. They have a roof over their head. They don't have to struggle to feed their kids. Their job is pretty easy. Judges, social workers, their job is pretty damn easy. A monkey can do their job. A monkey can actually do their job better than they do. And yet they judge a mother who lost her job, lost her home, and needed help. The kids are crying. They don't want to leave their mom. And then the kids are wanting their mom, but yet the social worker lies and says the children said they don't want to be with you. Really? Really? Children said they don't want to be with their mom when the children were screaming and begging to be with their mom. You have to be a piece of shit not to see that pain in a child. You have to be. There is absolutely no way you could be a sane person watching a child in severe pain when you steal them away from their mom. Yet we, as a country, as a nation, we help other countries. We help other countries. You know, they go to Africa, you know, they help other kids, their families, feed them, clothe them. But yet you're neglecting your own people. You're neglecting your own people. You're stealing their kids from them because they can't afford a roof over their head. And the only thing that's holding them together is their children. But yet you take that from them. And then the mother crumbles. the father feels helpless because in nature, good dad wants to be the provider, the ones that save their family, the one that protect their family. And you're making them look like they're horrible parents. Why? Because of money. I have, for those that know me very well, I have like seriously zero respect for social workers and judges and district attorneys and court pretenders. I have zero respect for them because they stink. They're horrible. Their judgment is so poor. They might have a title and money and cars and whatever, but they lack common sense. They lack fair judgment. They lack accountability. They're never wrong, they're always right. A social worker's lying and caught lying is being excused in court. Oh, the judge will say, I'm sure the social worker didn't mean to say that. Oh, it's an honest mistake. Honest mistake? An honest mistake that led them to steal your own children? That's an honest mistake? Huh. But they don't get to lose their job for this honest mistake. Autumn said, we can't afford an attorney to fight for our kids. I understand that. However, when you call a private law firm, their attorneys can't come out of pocket to help every and each one that calls them. What I have seen people do when I speak with them, it takes them like a week or maybe 2 weeks, but they will call me and say, okay, Georgette, we have the retainer money. And I ask them, how did you guys manage to do it? And they will tell me, oh, I called so and so, my friend from years ago from college, or I called my relatives, they call so many people that they know. Like seriously. We have another client that actually had her sister do a GoFundMe account. And for some reason, she collected in 3 days the whole entire retainer. The court provides people, the juvenile dependency courts provides people with a juvenile dependency attorney that is pro bono. However, that's for a reason. That's why they don't do their jobs, because they don't work for you. You don't pay them. And also, they don't want to do their job because they don't want to lose their job. Listen to that very carefully. They don't want to do their job because they don't want to lose their job. They can't go against them. So they're going to be against you. We have another client that actually lived with his brother, and I think I mentioned him before. Lived with his brother and his wife, his brother and his wife, for so long, so he can save his money to hire an attorney. Once he got his kids back, he rebuilt his life again. And I still contact him. He's doing great. But oftentimes people have money, but they don't want to spend the money on an attorney. And the first thing they ask me is what guarantees us to get our kids back? What guarantees us we're going to get our kids back if we put that money in hiring an attorney? There's no guarantees in life. However, knowing a lot of the attorneys that work in our office, knowing Jennifer Annie, she was on my show a couple of times, She's an amazing attorney. She really fights for children. But we all get what we pay for. We all get what we pay for. It's like going to a Rolls Royce dealership. You cannot expect Nissan prices when you go to a Rolls Royce dealership. Oftentimes people say we hired a family law attorney. Why would you hire a family law attorney for a juvenile dependency case? We didn't know. But guess what? A family law attorney will take a small retainer, but he or she is going to act like like a court pretender. It's completely different dynamic. Family law is different than juvenile. Juvenile is you versus the state. You versus the state. So a family law attorney that has no idea about the jurisdiction in juvenile courts cannot help you. So people that I speak with that actually hire our office tell me they go on and beyond to find a way to get money to help them get their kids back. She said, like you said, it's all about money. Yeah, it's about money when they steal your children. However, when you call a law office, attorneys get paid by their services. Just like when you go to work, you expect your employees to pay you. Your employers to pay you. So you can't go to work every day and your boss tells you, you know what, Oddman, I'm not going to pay you today. Wait until next month. Because you will not be able to pay your bills. You will not be able to survive. Same thing with attorneys. They're not going to come out of pocket for everyone because how are they going to survive? They get paid per case. And that's how it works. However, like I mentioned earlier, you can't go to a Rolls Royce dealership for Nissan prices. We all get what we pay for. And like I mentioned, a lot of people find a way to get a retainer to get their kids back. And oftentimes people think, hey, we had a fight with the social worker. But why did you talk to the social worker? Why did you fight with the social worker? I don't like her. Why didn't you tell your social worker to contact your attorney? Because she pissed me off. So even if you do hire an attorney, don't take matters in your own hand and sabotage your own case because of your resentment towards a social worker. I know you resent the social worker. I resent them too. I can't stand them because they lie. Liars to me are, I can't stand liars. I can't stand them. Especially when you lie so badly that you're hurting children. She said, I am on fixed income, and he's saying for someone who doesn't work. I'm not sure what she means by that. The bottom line is, guys, you cannot depend on a court pretender. I hear it every day. He or she don't want to submit evidence. He or she is saying this. He or she is not doing this. He or she. Why would they? Find a way to hire a juvenile dependency attorney in your county, in your state. Find a way. Um, honey, I don't know how to answer that question. Is there any help for someone who don't work? It is very hard to find an attorney other than the one they provide you in juvenile court that will be able to take a case pro bono. Very hard. Why? Because they need to get paid for their services. Like I said, when you go to work or if you find a job, right, you expect to get paid. If you don't get paid, then you can't survive. I also recommend if you're not working, do what this client did in our office. She actually went door to door, and I spoke about this person before, door to door, um, asking people to help her. But she was in a neighborhood where people knew her, and she explained why. And she actually explained that that social workers took her children and unjustly, and she explained what needs to be done in order for her to get her kids back. You know, contact friends, contact families. I have seen people who got help from their parents, help from their grandparents, help from their aunts and uncles and friends and school buddies. Find a way. Don't give up though. Don't give up. I know it's hard. I know you think it's the end of the road for you. Get a job on them. Even if you work from home or answering phones, try to get a job to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Oftentimes people tell me, hey, Miss G, I called Fox News. I reported, to investigate this case or what have you, but they're not responding back to me. People resort to to the media. I honestly don't know what's going on with the media when it comes to CPS right now, only because I used to hear that foxinvestigate.com actually help people investigate the Department of Child Services, right? However, I hear a lot from people that they keep leaving them messages and emails and what have you, and they're not responding to them. So I don't know how that works really when it comes to social media. Okay, Corey said he also used investigative reporters. Yeah, that works. I know a couple that I love very much, and they're doing really fabulous work. And he said must have good documentations, also do a website to expose as much as possible. That is correct. Very proud of you, Corey. Chelsea has court this morning. Oh, Chelsea. Oh, baby girl. I pray that it goes well for you, Chelsea. I really do, baby girl. Um, there was a couple of investigators on Private Eyes on my shows, you guys. One is out of state and one in California. And honestly, you guys, we have a couple of people that hired them and they're doing really good. They expose a lot about the social workers. Remember, monitors need monitors. Okay? Monitors need monitors. They actually expose also the foster parents, um, being one of them being a sex offender, for example, one of them. Hiring a private eye is good idea too. Try to find ways, you guys, to get a juvenile dependency attorney that is not given to you in court. That is. Corey said, I have 98% custody of my kids, of my child, of abuse, neglect, and possible sex allegations and medical dental neglect. Wow. Chelsea said they took them for no reason, said imminent danger, but have not gave no reason. Chelsea, it's always imminent danger, honey. It's always danger with them. Seriously, they're disgusting. But the kids are not in danger. But they say imminent danger because of an allegation, a false allegation claim, maybe that came in. That's usually what it is. Um, if you have an open CPS case, Autumn, you cannot put it public. At least that's what I was told. Chelsea said, when they first took my babies, Jared, oh, the dad was dying of cancer. He since now has passed. Wow. Oh my God. So how were the kids in imminent danger, Chelsea? Because the father was dying of cancer? My God, this is too much. Yes, she said false allegations, but still haven't said why in court. Of course they won't. CPS love to hide. That's why they don't want the truth out. That's why they want to keep you silent. They don't want the truth out. A criminal doesn't want to be caught. They're never going to tell you in court why. And even if they do mention it, it's going to be lies. It's you versus them. You versus them. And it's not just, it's your versus demons. You versus demons. Demons. They're nothing but demons. Seriously, no joke. They're demonic. The way they treat families, they're demonic. Their job is to place children in a home with family members before go to foster home. They make themselves look innocent by saying, for example, one of our clients, they said that she doesn't have family in the report, yet her mother lives 4 minutes away from her. Her father lives 4 minutes away from her. Her brother is 15 minutes away from her. Her sister is 25 minutes away from her. But yet in the report, they said she has no family. And they dragged it on for months and months and months. Then the judge said, well, if there's family, why isn't the family visiting the children? Well, because the social worker said no. But the mother can address that in court. Guess what? Because the judge keeps her silent. The judge tells her to shut her mouth. What kind of judge are you, you piece of shit, when you have no respect for a mother fighting for her child? And you telling her to shut up? You're accusing her with false allegation written in a report from a piece of shit social worker who lied. And they have no respect for parents in court whatsoever. Because you're wearing a black robe? Because you have a degree? Because you went to college? You're nothing but pieces of shit. That's exactly how I see judges, social workers, district attorneys, and court pretenders. Nothing but pieces of shit. That's who they are. Chelsea said she's in a shitty situation today. I found out. I think it was Jared's mom was the one that called, but she didn't even take the boys. Me and the dad were together. She called so he would go live with her and do hospice there, which he did after the boys were taken and he passed, and I didn't get to be there. It's such a sad, it's sad. They knew what I was going through. I don't have family though, but I haven't missed any time. They keep trying to take my time, even though the judge last time did tell them to give more time. Yeah, whatever. Chelsea, the judge will say give them more time. Give the mother more time. But what does the social worker do? Nothing. So who rules in the court? Really? I always think that to myself, who really ruling in the court? Is it the social worker or is it the judge? I honestly believe it's the social worker. That's who is ruling in the courthouse. Because when the social worker doesn't do what the judge says, for example, she's not going to lose her job. He or she is not going to lose their jobs. Right? I have seen fathers, for example, who violate restraining orders. They don't get arrested. Why? Because they have connection with the courts. They have connection with the system. I have seen innocent fathers, for example, who are accused of a crime they did not commit, such as domestic violence. It's ridiculous, and the kids are the ones being toyed with. They're dragged from left to right, up and down, and their little mind cannot process what's happening. And they're brainwashed. Social workers brainwash them. Foster parents brainwash them. It's ridiculous. Do I have to sign a DCFS safety plan? Well, Mr. Davis, he's the attorney. I know a lot of you guys know who he is. Um, he always recommends you guys hiring a juvenile dependency attorney immediately and not do anything without your attorney present. So it's very important for you guys to understand that. Don't sign anything. Don't speak to the workers. Hire an attorney immediately. And he recommends that very highly. When you guys going through the investigation phase, don't just take it upon yourself to speak to the social worker and know exactly what thinking you know exactly what to say. You don't know what to say because anything will be held against you. If you open your mouth and said, my name is Georgette, for example, the social worker is going to write, she's going to add, or he's going to add 10 more lines to that you didn't even say. So you have to be very mindful. Their job is to set you up to fail. Their job is not to protect you or the children. Their job is to remove your kids and make you look like you're the unfit parent. And they are the heroes. That's their job. Do not do anything without an attorney. And Mr. Davis is very big on that. In order for you in order for you to win a case like this, you have to use a specific strategy to win that case. Mr. Davis speaks of that. Strategy is very important. You don't just go to court and say, I'm a good parent, I'm mother of the year. Look at the certificate. Look, I've done all these classes. I've done this. I've done that. Do you know how many parents that completed all their classes and then they come back and say, oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe you're ready. You need to take another 6 months of classes. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. There's parents who don't do drugs ever in their lives. And they're going to rehab. I mean, drug classes or whatever. Why? For what? Or sign here or you will never get your kids back. So they set you guys up to fail. Or they say, oh, if you sign this, you're gonna, you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be good within 3 months. I hear at your juvenile dependency court pretenders say that all the time. Oh, you're gonna get your kids back. Reunification, you're gonna get your kids back. No. They give parents breadcrumbs to feed them. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And that makes you, like, how can I say it? The reason they do this is because they don't want you to hire an attorney. They want you to stick with them so they can get the job done. And the job is not so much for your benefit or the child's benefit. It's for their benefit. Keep that in mind too. She said she actually called the judge's office and voiced her concern and voicemail. I don't know how far that will get you, Adam, honestly. Um, I have seen, example, I have seen older siblings write letters to the judge telling them how great their mother and father is, right? I have seen ex-spouses write letters to the judge telling them, hey, I was married to this woman for 15 years or 20 years. She's a great mother. Great mother. It doesn't faze them. They don't care. They don't even open their own freaking mail. So what they do, they have a secretary do it for them. Because they are too tired from sleeping too long, or, they ate too much. They're lazy. Judges don't even review the reports before the hearing. They scan through it during the hearing. Eh, She said the judge's secretary actually called me back and talked to me for about an hour. Interesting. And what did she say? Very interesting. Are allegations alone enough to put kids in protective custody without factual evidence? Yeah, yeah. I have seen people that call our office and say, hey, the neighbor made allegations that my husband and I fight. We never fought. And the police was never involved. We've been married 28 years, all that. But they took the children just because of the allegations. And they make it stick by lying and making up stories in the reports, etc., etc., especially when they say the kids said. Now you go talk to the children, supposedly, without the parent present, and all of a sudden the kids said. The kids never said. I have spoken to so many kids who outgrew the system, and they said we never said it. But they said, the child said, I don't want to be back with my mom. My mom doesn't feed me, or my dad does this, or whatever. Not true. Not true. They lie and say, shed in the report, that's not true. But they make you look so bad in front of the judge. And the judges believe who? The social workers. They do. They believe them. Autumn said it. I think it's the secretary that gets things done. All right, Autumn. Maybe you're right. I'm not doubting you, baby girl. Hmm. There is so much corruption. Seriously, guys, I honestly don't believe anybody in in courts. I really don't. I don't, because I have seen it. I've seen it. There's so much corruption. Like I said, they give people breadcrumbs. And when Mr. Davis, one time, he was talking about strategy in his show, I asked him several times, what is that strategy? He tried to explain it to me, you know, depending on the case, of course, right? It didn't make sense to me. Why? Because me, all I want is justice. And that's what everybody wants is justice. However, in order for you to get justice, you have to use a different strategy. You have to go around it. It's like if you want to, do you want to be right or do you want to get your kids back? That what Mr. Davis said that several times. And I hear him say that. Do you guys want to be right or you want to get your kids back? And I hear parents say, I want justice. I want to get my kids back and I want justice. It's it's hard. It's very, very hard. She said, I feel that with my soul. Baby, Autumn, there are so many victims out there. I hear people's stories all the time. However, there are parents who actually shouldn't have their children with them, right? I'm talking about like severe punishment, like, cigarette burns on a baby's arms because the baby's crying, stuff like that. Or um, like really bad punishment, like locking them in the bedroom, don't feed them, all kinds of stuff. However, CPS doesn't take bad kids or damaged kids, I'm sorry, from their parents. CPS they steal good kids who are not broken in a good home because those kids are easily adopted. So when I have a crying mother on the phone, and I know that mother is innocent, because when I talk to people, they actually show me evidence. They text it to me. I watch it. I listen to it. I try to help them as much as I can to find an attorney or what they need to do to be able to afford an attorney. I try to guide them. But the toughest job is for the attorney in court. And if an attorney doesn't understand the strategy to win the case in court, it'd be very hard to win the case. And your job as a parent, you guys, is to have evidence, to collect evidence, and to be able to show it to your attorney. I'm not talking about the court pretenders. They don't give a shit if you're innocent. They don't care. I have never seen a court pretender actually care about their client. Not one. They push your button. They intimidate you. They speak to you like you're garbage. They have no respect for you because they don't give a shit. I'm talking about when you hire an attorney, show it to your attorney. And don't take matters in your own hand and retaliate against the social workers because they're lying. We all know they're lying. We all know they're stupid and they're useless. Just don't fight Satan, right? Collect as much as you can and that show it to your attorney. And I'm going to read something to you guys. That's for California, that is. California legislative information, okay? A parent or a legal guardian may make a video or audio recording of his or her interview or interaction with a county child protective services social worker who is investigating allegation of parental abuse or neglect. The legislator finds and declares that nothing in existing law prevent the parent or legal guardian from making a video or audio recording of his or her interview or interaction with a county child protective services social worker. A county child protective services social worker participation in an investigation of parental abuse or neglect shall be deemed consent to video or audio recording pursuant to subdivision A. Oftentimes people tell me the social workers don't want to be recorded. A criminal doesn't want to get caught. At the end of the day, that's why they want everything private. A narcissist, when you expose a narcissist, they will retaliate against you for the rest of your freaking life. Why? Because you exposed them. They don't like to be exposed. A sociopath doesn't want to be exposed. So what do? Stop, right? Stop people from exposing them by making your life hell. That's exactly how social workers operate. So I'm going to end the show right now, guys. I have another one at 1 o'clock is Fight CPS Real Talk with Miss G, and at 7 o'clock is Relative Fight CPS. Um, again, guys, don't give up. Those are your children. And I know that you're crying day and night for them. I get it. It's painful. Find a way, find a way to be able to hire a juvenile dependency attorney. Find a way. There's also funding agencies, I found out. However, some of them fund um, in different states. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find as many as I can in all the states, and something to be able to help people. And there's a funding agency that one of our clients told me about, but they only fund for a specific state. I'm not sure. Specific states, sorry, not all the states. But I'm going to do my research, you guys, and I'm going to try as much as I can to find some funding agencies that be able to help people fund for legal cases. And you guys, and people would be able to pay them back. I guess I don't know how that works. I need to find out more about it, and maybe I'll be able to share it on my show next time. And then we'll go from there. Um, Adam, I love you so much, and I love all of you guys so much. And don't give up, and don't bow down to CPS because they're freaking demonic. Never bow down to a demon. You will be victorious. Don't give up, and don't let them put you down. Don't listen to them trying to convince you you're a bad parent and you're the worst parent on the face of the earth. Like a social worker told one of the moms. That mom actually recorded her sorry ass. And she told her, "You are the worst parent I have ever seen. You will never see your kids again." Why? Why? Because the neighbor reported her. Because she left her child in diapers while she was cleaning the front yard. How sick is that neighbor, really? How sick are people like that? Lift your head up high, everyone, and don't give up. I love all of you guys. Thank you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.